These are small daily habits that I do every single day, or almost every single day, that keep me in my feminine energy. In a world that constantly pulls us into hustle and pressure and masculine energy and productivity, these tiny moments pull me back to me. They ground me in my feminine energy, even on the most chaotic days. So let's get into it. Hey friend, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Jillz, and I help women step into their power, tap into their divine feminine, and become their best self, live their best life. So if that's something you want to do, you should subscribe and stick around. And in case you want more from me besides just my YouTube videos, you can check out my deep dive feminine energy course or any of my other courses or digital products. They are always linked down below. So I'm just gonna get right on into it, but I'm gonna break these habits down in the order in which I do them, roughly. So I'm gonna start with like the morning and my morning routine, and then midday, and then move into the evening. So you can really see how this plays out in my day and what my routines kind of look like. So the first daily habit to stay in my feminine energy is that after I wake up in the morning, I do not rush to get out of bed just right away. Now, I know some people say to do the opposite, like Mel Robbins. She has something called the 5-second rule. And it's basically where when you wake up in the morning, when your alarm clock goes off, you count to 5 and you immediately get up and you start your day. And a lot of people love it, but for me, I do something different. I intentionally spend like 5, 10, 15 minutes in bed just by myself, not really doing anything, just being with myself, feeling calm before the day starts. Okay, so I give myself time to wake up and rise gently. I wake up and then I just lay there and I enjoy being there in my comfy bed. Sometimes I'll cuddle with my dog. Sometimes I'll stretch a little bit in bed, like I'll move around a little bit. Sometimes I'll read a few pages of a book. Sometimes if I want to, I'll do like a quick meditation or a visualization, but oftentimes I'm usually just kind of laying there in silence. This helps me stay connected to me, connected to my body, connected to my feminine energy, connected to my rest and my pleasure before I get up, get to checking off my to-do list. Even on the days where I have to wake up early, I'll usually set my alarm like 10 minutes before I actually want to get out of bed. So I can take that 10 minutes to just lay there, just to be. I do not let myself fall back asleep though. Then that usually won't work out for you, but I give myself that time. Second thing that I do every single day is that I eat breakfast. I make sure that I eat breakfast every single day, especially a blood sugar balancing breakfast. Studies have shown that one of the easiest and best things that a woman can do to balance her hormones is to eat breakfast within an hour of waking. It's kind of your way of telling your body like you are safe, you are taken care of. Something that you have to keep in mind is that the feminine body and the feminine energy thrives on safety and nervous system regulation. The feminine energy does not thrive in survival mode. You probably know this, but when you don't eat breakfast, or you eat a really crappy breakfast, or you don't eat anything in the day until 2 p.m., you're kind of putting yourself into that survival mode. And for some people, that really messes with their blood sugar and it's gonna put you into high alert. When you eat breakfast, you're in receiving mode, you're in safe mode. And when you skip breakfast, you're more likely to feel anxious, irritable, and dysregulated. And what do we do when we feel that? And when we feel dysregulated? We operate from a place of control and scarcity. We lash out. We aren't connected to our intuition. We overwork ourselves. We're disconnected from pleasure. That's survival energy, not feminine energy. So a blood sugar balancing breakfast would be something with protein, fat, fiber, and slow, healthy carbs. And this tells your body right as you start the day, you are nourished, you are safe, and you don't have to hustle to survive. This isn't about just eating breakfast though. It's when you feel good, when you feel well, when you feel healthy and balanced in your body, when you are sticking to the wellness habits that make you feel good, you show up and operate completely differently. The truth is that it's hard to be in your feminine energy when you don't feel good, or when you're dysregulated, or when you're always dealing with little health issues. It's because you don't feel good in your body, and feminine energy is about connecting and being in your body. And this is why prioritizing our wellness is obviously important for everyone, but it's especially important for women who want to be more in their feminine energy, because it's so hard to connect to your body on a deeper level like the feminine energy requires when you don't feel comfortable in your body. And with that said, that brings me to today's sponsor, ZocDoc. When I talk about feeling good in life and sticking to the wellness habits you know you need, I don't just mean green smoothies and journaling. This also includes the practical stuff, like finally booking those doctor's appointments that you've been putting off for months. Because let's be honest, finding a doctor is not always the easiest or most fun task. Between sorting through insurance and reading outdated reviews and waiting weeks just to get in, it's no wonder it ends up at the bottom of your list. But as you get older, those little health things that you used to brush off start to matter a lot more. But your health deserves deserves to be prioritized just as much as everything else on your calendar, even if it's not the most glamorous part of your routine. And that's where today's sponsor, ZocDoc, comes in. ZocDoc is a free website that makes it super easy to find and book high-quality in-network doctors. That means in-network appointments with over 100,000 providers across pretty much every specialty, from mental health to dental health, to eye care to skin care, etc. And you can filter for doctors based on your insurance, your location, the type of care you need, and real verified patient reviews. You can see real-time appointment openings and book a time that works for you. No calling, no waiting, no back and forth. And a lot of appointments are available within 24 to 72 hours and sometimes even same day. So do yourself a favor and prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/Jillz or click the link in the description to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back into it. So moving on, habit number 3, the next thing that I do is I ask myself, how do I want to feel today? Not just what do I need to get done, what needs to be checked off the to-do list, but how do I want to feel today? And if that question doesn't hit quite right, it can be, what would feel inspiring today? What would make me feel good today? Now, obviously, sometimes we don't get to do whatever we want to do every single day. Sometimes there are things that have to get done, things that do have to get checked off the to-do list. But it doesn't mean that every day just has to be boring and dull. And we are allowed to tap into how we feel and what we want to do and what's exciting us today and move toward that and head in that direction, right? So asking myself this question, it keeps me out of just living my life in autopilot and allows my day to be led by my energy, not just urgency. To be in your feminine energy and to fully be in your feminine power and to tap into your strengths as a woman. This means tapping into how you're feeling and what you're inspired by. Like, the feminine energy is meant to be led by our intuition, by our inspiration, by what's exciting us, by what feels good. Now, obviously, I live in the real world too. We can't always do this every single day. But when you ask yourself this question, how do I want to feel today? What would feel inspiring right now? Or what would feel energizing right now? And we honor it, we often find little ways to bring that into our life. When you lead your day and start your day with these questions as well, not just your to-do list, you will still get things done, but in a way that feels better, in a way that feels more aligned with you, in a way that's led by energy and devotion, not force and discipline. Now, the next thing that I do in my day, even if I'm staying home, is I get ready. Now, what that looks like day to day can really vary, but I always try to take at least 10 minutes to get ready with intention. First of all, we all know that when we look better and when we feel more put together, we act put together. We show up more confidently. That's just the truth. Doing my skincare, maybe a little bit of light makeup, making sure my hair isn't a mess, putting on some real clothes or some sort of outfit. It's almost like a little morning ritual to step into your best self. But I said getting ready with intention, which means getting ready and getting dressed based on the goals for that day and what I really want to focus on, and again, how I want to feel. Sometimes that's a really cute girly outfit. Sometimes that's a matching workout set because I really want to be active that day. Sometimes if it's the first day of my period, I put on a really cute matching lounge set because the intention is rest. It's to be really nurturing and slow that day. Basically what I mean is that what you wear sets you up for the day that you're going to have. So depending on the day that you want to have and how you want to feel, you put on an outfit and you get ready in a way that matches that. Okay, now we're moving on to more of the middle of the day. And the next habit that I do, and this is just basically automatic, I don't actually have to do anything, but I do not really get any notifications at all on my phone, except for calls and texts, obviously, but I don't get any sort of like app notifications or Instagram notifications or anything like that. And on certain days, I'll put my phone on do not disturb as much as possible. And that is because the feminine energy needs spaciousness. This is such a little thing, but it is so hard to continuously be in your feminine energy and stay present in your body when you are constantly getting notifications from like everywhere. And with that said, I don't rush to reply to every little thing. Once I get one new email, I don't rush to reply. I do it in like batches. So usually like 2 to 3 batches a day, I'll go through my email. Even with text messages and things like that, I don't always respond right away. Sometimes I'll wait until like a few hours later or the end of the day and I'll respond to everything at once. So my point is that I don't rush to reply to everything that's being thrown at me, and I am the one that's in charge of my day and what I put my energy towards. If throughout the day I'm immediately responding to all the things coming at me, then that's a very quick, tiny way to take me out of my feminine energy. The next habit is that throughout the day, I will curate little micro moments of beauty. So whether that is fluffing a pillow or adjusting the lighting or spraying perfume or whatever, I take little moments to beautify my space or my environment or even myself throughout the day. And let me tell you why. Beauty is one of the biggest energizers to the feminine energy. It's truly energizing. It makes you feel alive. It makes you feel safe. It regulates your nervous system. This is why women care so much more about how their home looks or the interior design of their space a lot more than men. It's because men don't feel energized and lit up the same way that we do by beauty. Think about the very slight but very real difference in how you feel when you drink your morning cup of coffee out of a really cute mug instead of like a cheap plastic cup. Or when you walk past the mirror and you actually like what you see and you're like, ooh, yeah, nice. Or when you see like the most beautiful sunset, you feel something. You feel alive. You feel good. You feel more connected to your senses. You feel more grounded and calm. And you feel that connection to your feminine energy. Prioritizing little moments of beauty anchors you to your feminine energy. So maybe that's before starting work for the day, you clean off your desk and make it look nice and pretty and organized. Or maybe that's lighting a candle. Or maybe that's wiping down the kitchen counters before you relax for the evening so it's all clean. Or maybe that's picking up fresh flowers from the grocery store even though you don't technically need it, but that extra $5, $10 just makes you feel so much happier throughout the week. It's taking an extra 30 seconds to put on your favorite lipstick because it just makes you feel good. Curating more moments of beauty often creates more alignment and more connection to the feminine energy. Now, the next habit is something that I do every single day, probably a few times throughout the day, and I will check in with my body and I will ask myself, am I clenching? Is there any sort of tightness or tension that I'm unnecessarily holding on to? Right, so I'll pause and I'll check in and I'll see, am I clenching? Am I clenching my jaw? Are my shoulders really tight and kind of like hunched up right here? Am I not letting my stomach or my hips relax? Or even am I taking like really shallow breaths? Or even sometimes I'll just step into the sun for a bit to kind of come back into my body. And I'll relax and I'll release that tension. Something that you need to remember is that your body and your mind are always communicating. And so if your body is full of tension, it's very difficult to operate from the soft, sensual, feminine energy, right? When your jaw is clenching and your stomach is tight and your shoulders are tight, what does that tell your brain? We're on alert. We're in doing mode. We're protecting ourselves. So if you want to make sure that you're staying in your feminine energy throughout the day, make sure that your body is not unnecessarily tight and like clenching everywhere. It's gonna subconsciously keep you stuck in your masculine energy. The places that we often clench and stay really tight are our jaw, our shoulders, our stomach, and our pelvis, like our pelvic floor. And a weird one for me is sometimes I used to like clench my hands. I don't even know why, but I used to like they'd be awkwardly clenched. So if you want to feel soft and in your feminine energy, first start by just checking in throughout the day and making sure that you're not holding on to any tension. Now, the next habit that I do moving on throughout my day are my daily walks. I either go for sometimes one long walk in the evening, or sometimes I'll do one midday walk and then like a shorter evening walk. But I do take walks most days, not just for exercise, but also just for feeling good, to move that energy throughout my body, you know, to feel more grounded, to feel more clear, to help me soften a little bit when I feel tense or overstimulated. Again, feminine energy is about getting connected to your body. It's about movement. It's about flow. Really, any sort of movement is amazing for connecting to your feminine energy, but especially movement that is something that feels good to you, that actually feels pleasurable to you. Like dancing is another thing that's also amazing, but my daily walks, I do those every single day. It's great exercise. It's great for your body composition, honestly, but it also just makes you feel amazing. It's so regulating. And walking is specifically one of the best exercises for women because it's low impact, it's low stress. Now, when you go for your walk though, I highly recommend that sometimes you don't bring your headphones. I know, sometimes you want to listen to our music or a nice podcast, and that's lovely. But sometimes it's also really wonderful to just not be listening to anything, to just hear the birds, to just let your mind wander. Those are the walks that tend to be the most restorative for me. We're so used to like constantly consuming that sometimes if you go on a walk and you have nothing to like listen to or consume, it feels really uncomfortable or weird, but just try it. It'll connect you so much deeper to yourself, to Mother Nature, to your feminine energy. Now, as we move into the evening, I always have a little transition ritual to kind of break up work mode and productivity mode to resting and relaxation. So I've created a little ritual for myself. It's nothing intense, it's very simple, but it helps my brain realize like, okay, we're not doing productivity stuff anymore. We are relaxing, we are resting. Sometimes what can happen, especially if we really need to be in our masculine energy throughout the day, is that when the day ends, we stay stuck in our masculine energy and we can't get out of it. And then at the end of the day, when you're eating dinner with your partner, you're still in your masculine energy. And when you're winding down in bed together or just by yourself, it doesn't matter, you're still in your masculine energy. energy. And then sometimes you can't fall asleep. So it's really important to have some sort of simple ritual, especially if you had a particularly tough or chaotic day, to pull you back into your feminine energy. So here's what I do. It's very simple. It is a 4-step process. The first thing that I do is I actually have different modes on my phone. And so I have work mode on my phone. So what I do is I turn off work mode and I turn it on to personal mode. And in that personal mode, again, I do not get any sort of notifications at all. No work notifications, no emails, nothing. Even all of the apps are different, and like my home screen looks different in the different modes, you know, work mode versus personal mode. So that's the first thing I do. I turn off work mode and turn on personal mode. Then I give my house turn down service. Okay, so I give myself my own turn down service. So I will go through the house and I will close the blinds and I will turn on like nice moody lighting. I'll turn off like the harsh, annoying overhead lights, and it's just like lamps and moody lighting. Sometimes I'll light a candle, but I'll basically just take like 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes to kind of just like turn the house down and make it more appropriate for like rest and feminine energy. Then third, I will get in the shower, take a quick shower, wash off the day. And then the last thing, number 4, is I will put on a comfy, cute outfit. So if it's already really late, then I'll just put on like, you know, my matching PJs that I love that are really comfy, cute. Or sometimes if I'm still gonna be like lounging around the house for a bit, I won't put on my PJs yet. I'll put on like a really cute matching set or something like that. Something that still makes me feel good. So that's it. That's the 4-step process. Nothing crazy, but I have kind of like programmed that into my brain that when I do those things, okay, it's time to rest. It's time to be in our feminine energy. It's time to receive. So I encourage you to make your own little transition ritual and keep following that, and your brain will start to like get the hint. And lastly, this is kind of like a little fun one, but often what I do in the evenings is I color a little bit before bed. Now, I am not an artist. I have absolutely no ability to draw or anything like that, but I love to color in these little adult coloring books at the end of the day. So basically what I'll do is that I will color and do this while I'm usually listening to music or a podcast, or honestly, oftentimes it's just like I put background TV on. I'm not really looking at it, but it's just something like really light, really happy, nothing scary. And I'll kind of listen to it in the background while I'm coloring. This is such a playful, soothing way to wind down without, you know, staring at a screen the whole time. And this book I love particularly because it's like for stress relief. And let me show you some of my photos. Picasso. See, they're just like very easy pictures and they're very soothing to draw. And I also have this other one too. I know at least one of you will ask. So I'll put these books below. I just got them on Amazon. They're very, very cheap. But the thing that makes it so soothing is getting the right markers, okay? They need to be like a specific type, so I'll link the markers that I use as well. But so instead of scrolling or just being hooked on another screen or whatever, like it's just a very soothing way to wind down for the night, and I've been really enjoying it. It just adds a little playfulness and pleasure to my evening routine. Now, if you enjoyed this video but want to learn more about how to be in your feminine energy, not just like small little daily habits, then I highly recommend you check out this video. It's called The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Feminine Energy, and it'll tell you everything that you need to know. So I will see you over there, or I'll just see you next time in my next video. Bye.